Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Today's episode of The Topping Show is proudly sponsored by Topping Technologies. Topping Technologies is an IT value-added reseller and services company with a special proficiency IT security. Heck, I see their founder at least twice a day. I gotta say he's quite handsome and brilliant. He's me, you see, that's the joke. If you're an IT leader or business owner, reach out to the team at sales@toppingtechnologies.com. Also giving away a free flamethrower with every IT purchase. And yes, it does come with an adapter to attach it to a standard AR-15 Picatinny rail, as all awesome accessories can be. Go to toppingtechnologies.com, click that button that says flamethrower to learn more. Also, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you can click that button and tell your friends, I would greatly appreciate it. Now, going over to the business part of the podcast, you have Steve Bannon moving production out of China, mere announcement just hours after the Trump victory. Now, this comes to us thanks to Kristen, who's a contributor over at Fox Business, which somehow still in business. Pretty impressed by that, actually. Now, they say, quote, hold up here, you can see some of those iconic shoes, which some women, I suppose, wear. And they say, quote, Steve Bannon announced his plan to rapidly move production out of China following a Trump election win. The trendy retailer has plans to cut out China's sourcing by up to 45%, which is a pretty penny to say the least, or, well, pretty statistic. I mean, we'll see how much they save in terms of pennies going to another country for production and material procurement. And I say, quote, as President-elect Trump's proposed tariffs loom over the U.S. economy, one popular shoe company is already planning to move production out of China. Steve Bannon's CEO announced on a post-earnings call less than 48 hours after a Trump victory that the retailer had put, quote, plan into motion to cut its Chinese sourcing up to 25%. CEO Edward Rosenfield said, quote, we should expect to see a percentage of goods that we source from China begin to come down more rapidly going forward. The trendy retailer had noted it had wanted to focus on operations in factory bases in Brazil, Mexico, Vietnam, as well as Cambodia, which, again, those countries are all, well, for the most part, we have better geopolitical relations with pretty much all of those countries. Debatably with Mexico, but another topic for another time, perhaps. There you can see one of those Steve Bannon bags, which already having a huge impact on business. And again, this is just speculation. Nothing officially has been passed yet. And I say, quote, just under half, or he says, quote, just under half of our current business would be potentially subject to tariffs on China imports if Trump decides to impose tariffs when he takes office in January. Another executive said. Another executive also noted, quote, our goal over the next year is to reduce the percentage of goods we source from China by approximately 40 to 45%, unquote. Since February, Trump has honed in on using tariffs as a strategic negotiation policy. Oh, I can see Trump right there. Oh, there's no pictures of the shoes. I guess I'll have to sell for those comical high heels or those boots that have like, 4 inches on the toe heel, on the toe part, and 7 inches on the back. Ridiculous. They say, quote, since February, Trump has honed in on using tariffs as a strategic negotiating policy. The former president has followed the tariff of 20% on goods from other countries and 60% on imports from China. Now, during a sit-down interview with Mario Bartiromo, Trump confirmed that his plan would be used as a leverage tool and suggested imposing possibly up to a 200% tax on vehicles from Mexico, which, again, one of the reasons he's proposing that is because, well, China's starting to produce factories in Mexico to get around the China import law. So then it'd be technically a Mexican import. So it'd be subject to a different percentage on the tariffs. So it'll be interesting to see how much of this reshoring goes on in terms of will they manufacture goods in the United States. For fashion, I'm pretty pessimistic since it's one of those instances where, I mean, we look at all the infrastructure and the profit margins of manufacturing overseas. I mean, it's depending on the tariffs and where they manufacture it, it could be prohibitively expensive to bring it back to the United States. It is pretty impressive. I mean, again, no laws have technically been passed. But again, there's a lot of speculation in the market, and it's free. And just for geopolitical reasons, I think it'll be better to actually do business with more of our allies. So I think it's good that Steve Bannon is moving out of China. I think it's not 100%, it's just 45, but I think it's a good strategic move. And it'll be interesting to see how many companies follow suit and what will the fashion industry do in particular. I mean, fashion is notoriously manufactured in China. Granted, it's all designed in the United States, and some people smoking cigarettes in Paris. Only partially kidding. But let me know, and do you have any preference? Do you care where your clothing is made? I mean, for most of my life, I tried to only buy made in America. It's becoming more and more difficult, especially for suits. And it's something I used to value very much. I mean, shoot, I try to make in America most things I have around here. But let me know, do you have a preference on origin of manufacturer? Do you think quality could change? Let me know in the comments, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in. Again, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you can click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.